In a quiet town, two mothers raised their sons in very different ways. One, a woman named Mrs. Daniels, believed in tough love to the extreme. Her son, John, grew up under the weight of harsh discipline. His days were filled with loud rebukes, angry comparisons, and frequent beatings. When his grades slipped, she didn't ask why. Instead, she shouted, cursed, and compared him to other children. "Look at David down the street, always first in class," she would bark. "You're just useless." To John, home was not a place of safety, but a battleground. Over time, the words he heard became the beliefs he held. He began to see himself as a failure, carrying the burden of his mother's disappointment like a shadow that followed him everywhere. On the other side of town lived Mrs. Adeyemi, a firm but nurturing mother. Her son James was taught discipline not with fear, but with wisdom. When he made mistakes, she corrected him calmly. When his grades were low, she sat with him, reviewed his books, and encouraged him. "James," she would say, "your value is not just in your grades. Let's work together and improve. You can do better." She taught him to pray, to respect others, and to strive for excellence, not out of fear, but from a place of confidence and purpose. James grew up believing in himself, even when he failed. He knew he had someone who believed in him too. Years passed, and John and James, now young men, found themselves in the same university. John arrived burdened, insecure, and angry. He kept to himself, avoided group work, and struggled academically. James, confident and friendly, quickly noticed John's loneliness and reached out. At first, John was resistant. He had learned not to trust, but James persisted. They worked on assignments together, and James encouraged him in moments of doubt. Slowly, John began to open up, sharing pieces of his painful childhood. James listened. He didn't judge. He understood. That friendship became a turning point. James showed John a different perspective, one that failure was not final and that he wasn't alone. John, in turn, helped James understand something he had never truly considered, that some people don't struggle because they are lazy or dull, but because they were never given a fair start. They grew together. James taught John study habits, self-worth, and the importance of prayer and forgiveness. John, through his resilience and newfound determination, taught James empathy, patience, and the power of kindness. By their final year, John and James had become inseparable. Two young men from very different backgrounds, now brothers by choice. And in a beautiful twist of fate, they both stood side by side as the best graduating students in their respective disciplines. The crowd cheered. Their mothers watched with pride, one silent with tears of reflection, the other with joy and gratitude. In the end, it wasn't just about parenting styles. It was about what we can become when we meet the right people, when we choose healing over hate, and when we dare to rewrite our story.